We have a situation that is not addressed in the rules, and so I am appealing to the convention on what you would like to do.
Interesting.
We have not addressed in the rules whether and for how long candidates will speak in subsequent rounds of voting. This is at the discretion of this convention at this point. If someone would like to make a motion, you can let them speak, you can not let them speak, you can say how long, all of the above. In the back.
I move they're allowed 3 minutes.
There's a motion for 3 minutes.
Second.
Is there a second on that motion? Okay, Marty's got the second. There's discussion on this motion. Okay, there's an amendment. Okay. Is there a second to the motion that they speak in random order subsequently? There's a second there.
Wait a minute, we did not hear what he said.
Okay, so there is an amendment to the motion. The original motion is that in subsequent rounds they speak for 3 minutes. The amendment that has been proposed is that they speak in a random order in subsequent rounds as well, and that they don't go in alphabetical order henceforth. Is there discussion on the amendment to the motion? We got the second.
Call for the amendment.
Okay, if there is no discussion on the amendment to the motion, we will vote on the amendment that they speak in random order. All those in favor of the amendment to the original motion, that they speak in random order in subsequent rounds. Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you still on the discussion, or is that over now?
I haven't called the question just yet, so if someone would like to speak, please do.
Since we went in alphabetical order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe the first time 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 3, 4, 5, like that.
Just rotate them.
Point of order.
Yes.
I had already called for this. I had already called for it.
All right. So we have to vote on them. We have to vote on the amendment we've got in front of us. So if you are in favor of them speaking in a randomized order from henceforth, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right. Now we're back on the original motion as amended. The motion is that in subsequent rounds, candidates speak for 3 minutes in a random order. Is there any discussion on that motion? All right.
Couldn't hear.
If you're going to speak to the motion, if you would please rise and speak loudly. We don't have several microphones in this room, so. Yes.
What did she say?
Her suggestion was that they speak for 2 minutes. We have to deal with the motion that we've got unless you'd like to amend it.
If everybody speaks for 3 minutes, we're going to be here for 18 minutes again, and then another 18 minutes. It's going to go on forever. If we have 5 minutes, I think a minute is really 3 minutes.
All right. If someone would like to amend the motion to 2 minutes, please do so.
Mr. Chair, I respectfully amend that.
Sharon was ahead of you. To 2 minutes? Okay. Is there a second to the amendment that we go to 2 minutes? Okay, the second's right there. All right, so we have another amendment to the motion. Now we're going to go to 2 minutes. If you are in favor, first off, is there any further discussion on that amendment? If there is none, the motion is that the original motion be amended, that they speak for 2 minutes in the subsequent rounds. Those in favor of that motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. All right. Now we're back on the main motion again. All right. So, back on the original motion, now amended twice, that they speak for 2 minutes in a random order in subsequent rounds of balloting. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Now we have a second item. The question is whether the person who has just dropped off the ballot should be allowed to speak again. I am looking for a motion. Marty.
If a person who has dropped off the ballot wishes to speak for a candidate who is on the ballot, is that possible with what you are
You could do that through a motion. You could say that if they are wanting to endorse another candidate, they can speak. But they have to go through me. They have to tell me that. So is there a motion on what we should do? Back here.
I make a motion that we limit it to the people who remain on the ballot. Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second that only the people who are remaining on the ballot be allowed to speak. We already had the second. Thank you, though. Is there any discussion, any further discussion on that motion? Yes.
I would like the person going off the ballot to have opportunity if they want to endorse the witness.
All right. He was making the point that people going off should be allowed to endorse someone remaining on the ballot. Yes.
I move to amend this motion that the person who is leading the ballot has the opportunity to endorse one of the remaining candidates within the 2 minutes that are allowed for that candidate to speak.
All right. The amendment is that candidates leaving the ballot be allowed to speak, but not outside the 2 minutes allowed for the candidate whom they are endorsing, if they are indeed endorsing someone.
I'd second that.
There's a second for that. Is there any discussion on that amendment? If there is none, we'll proceed to vote. Those in favor of the motion, or in favor of the amendment, that candidates leaving the ballot be allowed to speak if they are endorsing and do so in the 2 minutes allotted to the candidate whom they are endorsing. That's a mouthful. Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. All right. Back on the original motion. The motion as amended is that candidates that are leaving the ballot be allowed to speak in order to endorse another candidate, but only during the 2 minutes allotted to the candidate whom they are endorsing. I feel like an auctioneer. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Seeing none, we proceed to vote. Those in favor of the motion that candidates leaving the ballot be allowed to vote, or be allowed to speak if they are endorsing another candidate and only during the 2 minutes allotted to that candidate that they are endorsing, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. All right. That concludes the outstanding business I have. The convention is recessed again until we have a result of the vote. Thank you.